great.
Hi everyone, I can see
Hi.
Charles, I can see Khadija,
Charles. Hey Charles.
Laurie is connected to audio.
People are just joining.
So hi everyone, this is Tony again. Thanks for joining us. Just to give you a little bit of background. Well, first of all, you're all, I'm afraid, whether you like it or not, going to have your videos on for this, because otherwise I think Aileen's going to have a few problems training us. But just to give you a little bit of background, Aileen is a very good friend of mine. We actually met when Aileen was 17, I think, so just the other day. And we actually met in a cave because we were doing the unnameable play together. And I was an amazing King Duncan. And that's how we met. And after that, we kept in contact, but our paths sort of went in different directions. I went off to run said caves, and then I went off to open restaurants and bars in New York City. And Aileen followed a much more illustrious way and became a director of plays, and in particular Shakespeare plays, and developed her own method of training actors, which is so effective that she can also use it in other walks of life, like in our cases, to train us to actually work with people and to connect with people. But Aileen is much better at this than I am. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hand the microphone or whatever it is that we have on Zoom over to Aileen, and I'm going to let her take it from there. So again, everyone, thanks for coming. Don't forget to turn your videos on, because otherwise I don't think this will work, will it, Aileen?
No, I mean, I can find a way to make it work, but the best way to do is that we can see everybody and you can see each other.
Great.
But we can adjust. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Tony. A lovely introduction. Really lovely to be here. Good morning. It's morning for you guys out there, I imagine. It's afternoon here. I'm in London, a very rainy London. So actually, for once, it is exactly as you would expect London to be. We've had exceptional weather for 14 weeks. I think we've had 4 days of rain, which is bizarre because everybody's locked in the houses. And it's literally sunny every single day. But it's raining now, so more typical London. It's really nice to see you. I was just going to tell you a little bit about myself and the work I do with training people, customer service people primarily, and all the other work that I've done. So I'm Aileen, and I'm a theatre practitioner. I have developed my own acting method called the Gonsalves Method. I've been in theatre about 25 years now, 30 years nearly. And my method is rooted in the Meisner technique, which is a very American technique. So you might have heard of that. It's a technique which is all about people connecting, responding. And it has 2 big phrases, which are seeing clearly and responding authentically, and from your point of view. So those are the 2 big muscles of the method, which you can probably hear in that phrase, why it would be relevant for your work that you all do. I've worked at the Royal Shakespeare Company. I do a lot of work there directing. I work with the education department there. And that's the thing that led me back to New York and back to Tony, which was great, because I've worked at Horace Mann, which some of you might know, up in the Bronx. I've also developed this acting method, and I'm writing a book about it for Bloomsbury. And that's called Shakespeare and Meisner, and that's going to get published by the end of this year, hopefully, which is very exciting. So I've developed this sort of method that comes from his techniques that helps you do a couple of really key things, which is, as I said, see clearly and respond authentically. And you'll say to me, but we do see clearly. We've been seeing clearly all our lives in our work. You know, you run successful businesses. You obviously know how to talk to your customers, and you really are the experts on that. What is different is something has changed. You know, all our lives have utterly been transformed, and they haven't finished transforming, they are changing. I want to talk now about the more human aspect of the fact your customers are suddenly in a new position. It's not just you that's in a new place, they're in a new place. And their relationship to shopping in a store is completely new. You need to get some power back, and the power that you have that you might not know you have is you. The power that you have is that you are unique. Your products are unique, what you have to sell is unique, and the other power is that they have come to the store. They didn't have to come. There's no way they had to come. They've chosen to come to your store today. So these encounters that you have with them become very, very important. So I've got some little exercises that I'm going to get you to do, and they won't be scary because you're all on Zoom and you're just in your houses, so you're quite safe. I want to sort of talk about attention. So today's session is going to be about seeing clearly, reading people. It's what Charles said. Your greatest power is if you can see really clearly what is going on in your customer. And you can't bring your expectations of how you think they might be feeling, or you can't guess. And I mean people who you know, because you don't know them now. You yourselves know what a journey has been on the last 13, 14, 15 weeks. Reflections, changes of thinking, huge life changes people have been going through. You don't know. People are mourning people. People are angry. People are excited to be out of the house. You know, there's so much different stuff. What you can do is make sure you are present with a person and can see it. So I'm going to train you to just raise the level of seeing clearly. It's a little series of exercises, and it's to train attention, really. I want you just to shut your eyes for a second and tune into what you can hear. What are all the sounds around you right now? Try and hear another layer of sound. You've heard the obvious ones. What else is going on? Can you hear any birds? Can you hear any human sounds? Can you hear any mechanical sounds? Great, thank you. So open your eyes. There's quite a lot going on, I expect. Less than there was 3 months ago. What about taste? What can you taste? So maybe you can lick your teeth, lick your lips. Can you taste your breakfast, coffee, lip balm? Do you dare lick the back of your hand? What does that taste like? Moisturizer? It used to taste like London. London doesn't taste of anything anymore. There's no pollution. Nothing tastes of anything. It's wonderful. Great. What about smell? What can you smell? Breakfast. A neighbour's burning toast. Maybe sniff the back of your hand. Perfume. Great, so there's 3 of the senses there. Now what about touch? So touch some of your surroundings, your desk, where you're sitting, and feel the different surfaces. Which ones do you like and which do you not like? And what do they make you want to do? So like I touch this lid and it makes me want to go like that. It is making me want to do that, you know. You might want to touch something, you touch this bottle and you think, oh, I wonder what it feels like with my cheek. What's it like to touch, or the back of my hand? What's it like to touch the different things just around where you are? We don't normally do anything like this. We don't explore our environments at all. Great. And last one of all, the one we use so much of the time, is sight. So if anybody's colourblind here, just let me know. But otherwise, great. Otherwise, we're looking for the colour blue. So I want you to try and see as much blue as you possibly can in your immediate surroundings. And sometimes be like a painter who goes really close up. So you really focus on one area more than you want to. Just stay focused on it. And it will start appearing to you unexpectedly. Sometimes you step back like a painter and let it come all the way to you. So you open your view a bit more, you look at your peripheral vision, you soften your eyes and it will come to you. Suddenly, if you turn your head, that was a London motorbike, if you turn your head, blue will start bouncing off the walls to you. You'll see it everywhere. Have you checked the ceiling? Have you checked the floor? Have you checked your own clothes? And have you, yes, Bonnie. And have you checked all of us? Interesting. The reason I do this exercise with actors is I say, look guys, our brains don't need to process all that blue. And so they filter it out and they don't need to hear all the sounds. All those sounds are still going on, but now you're focused on me talking. So it's interesting how we filter what we need. And I mean, the brain is beyond explanation, isn't it? It's just unreal how amazing it is. So it's filtering what we need. Now, I say to actors, they need more than real life people, because they're in a heightened situation, they're on a stage. It's completely heightened. They have to open their attention. They can't use their everyday listening capabilities on a stage. It has to be more. They have to see more, they have to hear more. And when I talk today about seeing clearly, in case I forget to say it, I'm always referring to hearing clearly as well. It's seeing and hearing clearly. So it's that stimulus, essentially. It's what's coming from the outside. It's the things that are coming into you. So hearing and seeing. But absolutely, Charles, you know, once you're told to look for something, you see it everywhere. And the thing I say to the actors is, that's just talking about blue in a room. We're missing the blue in a room. That surely is easy. But there were probably things that you spotted that you didn't spot at first. And we forget to look up and we forget to look down. We think, how can we not have seen all the blue on everybody's shirts? Just didn't look there. And we're looking at the screen. So it's quite phenomenal what we don't take in. So it's just about raising your attention means we need to take in everything. As I say to the actors, the more you see in the other person, it gives you more that you can respond to. It's the first stage. If we don't see the person, we don't see the customer, we're then, I don't know what we're quite doing, but we're kind of delivering what we usually deliver. We're doing our standard thing. We're not with them. We're not with them. We're just presenting our stuff, but not to an actual person. So from now on, we've got to be absolutely talking to each other in these scenarios. And so seeing clearly is really important, because we're needing to see underneath the mask, underneath the literal mask, the emotional mask, you know, underneath these things, because we need to see how they are. You know, are they someone who is feeling nervous? Are they someone who's feeling wanting to talk? Are they someone who actually really wants to engage? They're lonely, they're dying to talk to you. Are they actually wanting just to come in and get out and not touch anything and not talk to you? Do they need you just to be totally straight and clear and fast? Or do they need you to have a laugh with them? And each person literally is unique. So I always say this in my workshops, but I'll say it again here now, because it's a lovely thing to be reminded of. We are all unique. You are all unique. The customers are all unique. There's nobody like you on this whole planet. And in the whole of humanity, there will never be anybody like you. So nobody sees things like you see them, or hears like you, or tastes or smells or feels. And, you know, the way you see the world, your point of view is unique. And at the moment, that is absolutely crucial about staff and your customers. So we can't really do a one-size-fits-all situation here. We can do one-size-fits-all in terms of the 2 meters. We can fix the kind of lines on the floor. We can make sure the hand sanitizer's there, that there's a sign there. What we can't control is this glorious, unique person that's wandered in your store. And what you can control is your response to them. We can't, at the moment, they always say this thing, don't they? We can't control anything. We're not in control of a single thing, apart from one thing, which is our response to absolutely everything that happens. It's our response that we're utterly in control of. But everything else, we have had that proved to us extremely clearly. I hope the whole world learns the lesson. We don't know what is going to happen next, ever. But we are in complete control of how we respond. And this is what I think I want to really focus us on when we're looking at these people. We get to respond, see them, we can respond. We're talking mainly about response tomorrow, so I should keep moving on with the scene today. So we're going to do another little exercise called listing. What have you got there? What you've got there, we might have to take these off because they're so hot, is body language. So there's a very famous quote about communication, which is that our communication is 58% body language. You listening to me now, listening to your partner, anything, it's 58% is body language. These numbers were tested in the 50s and they get tested every decade, all around the world, and these numbers stay kind of the same. But that's a huge amount. 58%, 37% tone of voice, and only 7% is what you say. That's a phenomenal statistic. 7%. We're reading body language the whole time. Can everybody look a bit grumpy? Can you cross your arms and look a bit sullen, shoulders down, a bit bored? You know, if I taught this whole workshop like this, you'd soon feel it. You know, yeah, we're a bit low. And then if you come up and your energy is up and you're on the front foot and you're smiling, you know, we read all that openness and closed body language. So just a quick tip is in your stores, whatever else you're doing, be aware of your own body language, because don't underestimate it. Sorry is going to become a very important word. I think we have to allow for mistakes. We have to say sorry. We have to allow them to make mistakes with each other. My God, they're going to be more nervous about doing the wrong thing to do with the other customers in the store. If you can see clearly, you can see a lot of things. You can see how they're feeling. You can see what they're looking at. Have they come in and gone straight for a section, one of the sections in the store? You can see when they're lost and they don't know, they're looking for something. Remember, they are choosing to come to your store. I mean, if you want to really load this up, they're risking life and limb to come to your store. You know, they really don't have to come in. If they have walked in the door, that's a big choice that they have made and thought about. They want to be there. It's a hugely positive thing from your point of view. You need to meet them. They've come with a lot of stuff that they're brave enough to come. They want to come. You need to meet them. And you don't have to do much to meet them. You just have to be present with them. I mean, we'll build on this tomorrow, the things that you can do. Because, you know, the bigger objective is that you want them to spend money in your store and you want them to come back. You want them to feel safe in your store and you want them to tell their friends. And just a top tip to remember, I don't know about you guys, but when I phone my parents every day at 6 and we kind of catch up on how this is this huge new world revolution, having not spoken to them for weeks. Suddenly we're all talking every day on Zoom with our families and with our friends. And what are we talking about? What we did today, because there isn't much else to talk about. So suddenly the trip to the store is a big adventure and is a big story. If they have had a good experience in your store, that, talk about word of mouth. Word of mouth takes on a whole different meaning now because you've become the story, the event of their day. God, I met Bonnie. We had so much fun. She was so clear. She shared, do you know that store? Have you been to that store? Who's been there? It's amazing. You've got to go in. Blah, 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 blah. Or, God, I had such a weird time. I went into the store and I don't know. I didn't know what to do. And it was really stressful. You lot have got to be careful. There are two stories that can be told about the experience of, and I mean every encounter that you are having with every unique customer. We're talking about connection today. Tomorrow we're really going to build on the engagement that happens when you actually speak and what your objectives might be and your entitlement to have that connection and looking at some of those things. But another fun thing we're seeing is the body. So we thought we might do some mirroring. So you might have done this on the first day of primary school. It's a very common kind of exercise people do. Tell me, let's see who can, let's all try and mirror one person. We'll all do it together. So we'll all mirror Tony. So what I mean by mirroring, we'll do an example, Tony. So let's do it. I'm going to spotlight you, Tony. Let's do that, because then I can spotlight you, can't I? Boom. Cool. Great. So actually, you need to see me as well, probably. So for now, let's not spotlight Tony. Let's see us both. So I'm going to copy everything that Tony does. So join in once you get the hang of this. It's very simple. It means your attention has to be on Tony very specifically. Get the detail. Great. Good. Very good, Tony. Oh, that was unexpected. Okay, brilliant. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, everyone. So very simple exercise, quite fun. We have to be with the person to do that. We have to stay tuned into them. We can't be worrying about our own stuff here. We're tuned into them and we're following. What was it like when you did something quickly? You know, I've got anything to say about what that was like, following someone when they're slow. You can kind of guess what they're going to do. Is that true? Did anyone feel that they were kind of on a roll of going, oh yeah, he's going to do that now? Which I think is the same with your customer. Because you're so experienced, you know, you'll be, once you know what they're thinking and what they want to do, once you've read them clearly, once you have read the mood that they're in, once you've read that they want to be efficient or they want to be chatty, or they're upset or they're excited or whatever it is, you can keep matching that because you've read it. But you can also go with the flow because you know how to do this dance. You've been in customer service a long time, you know how to do this dance. What might come up these days are some unexpected things, you know, things you weren't expecting, because fear is in the equation, unfortunately, at the moment. Fear. So suddenly somebody might cough. You watch somebody sneeze in your store and see what happens. You know, those kind of things that, as I said, are beyond our control. We accept that, but you can control your response. So it is this thing about, as long as we are awake, as long as you've heard that person over there sneeze, you get to deal with it. So this is about trying to say, keep your peripheral vision wide, keep all your attention on the store. If you thought there was a shoplifter in your store, how attentive would you be? You would be awake. It's that kind of attentiveness and attention that is needed here. But obviously not the kind of glowering tension of looking at them. But you know, this sense of, you know how to cover the whole store. If there was someone you quite fancied and wanted to go on a date one, you'd have the same thing. You know, we are able to be in tune with someone miles away if we like them and think, oh, I'd quite like to go on a date with them. Our attention is so able to encompass 150 scenarios and things if it matters. And at the moment now it matters. So I suppose I'm wanting today to make sure you understand that these tiny encounters that you might not think are important, or these are their one-on-one encounters with each person, actually are significant, because also everyone in the store is watching how you're behaving with everyone in the store. Do you mean we're tuned into how our ears, everyone's heightened in our alertness. And we're heightened because the body is in a state of fear. So it needs to be alert. I mean, the government over here unbelievably changed their slogan from stay at home, which we understood, to stay alert, God, which caused mayhem, of course. But essentially, alertness is the thing that people are. They are in a state of alertness. So you can take advantage of that by making them, and we'll talk about this tomorrow, feel incredibly safe. I mean, a lot of your job is going to be about making them feel safe, and that is what we're going to cover tomorrow. Tony, is there anything else I need to cover today?
No, I think, well, I don't know about everyone else, I'm exhausted.
Has anyone got any quick questions that they might want to ask, just in case? Is there anything burning?
I maybe have just a, you know, in trying to increase the bandwidth of perception, right? Yeah. So that you're kind of noticing more. I feel limited there. You know, like I feel limited in yeah. Like, you know, the more you perceive things, then maybe the more you might be ignoring other things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I got distracted because someone new came on the call, so that was exciting. Yeah, I perceived suddenly another lady down the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charles, absolutely. The way to train that, I can tell you now, you'll be seeing the colour blue the rest of the day. You know, it's interesting. It's exercises like that. It's such a simple thing. Do that every so often. And I'll tell you something about that particular exercise. If you're in any kind of stress or pain in the body, real physical pain or stress, you get your attention out and do an exercise like that. The body can't do both things at once. They're using it actually as a form to try and treat depression, because when the mind is busy with its attention out, it can't do the circular worried thinking. It literally can't do the two things at once. So they're trying to train people to look for the colors, look for, you know, everything that's a square in the room. So I would say to you guys, maybe tonight, or even now, or just while you're around today, Notice all the circles that are surrounding you. Notice all the right angles that are surrounding you. You start just building up because what you're doing is you're forcing yourself to think differently about just things around you. So I'd say do little exercises like that, Charles. It does really improve, but the willingness to do it is all, actually. It's the willingness to walk in and go, and to see things anew, to start each day in your shop and go, wow, I don't know what's going to happen today. Just that. I don't know what these customers are going to bring. It means that you have to be awake to them. You know, we think we know our customers. They have changed. If you start by going, I don't know you, I want to meet you anew. Who are you now? Who are you today? And by the way, that can be every day. Who are you today is a great question to ask in your business, my gosh, because people suddenly feel valued. They feel heard and they feel seen because they actually are being. So my work's very much about the authentic. It's not saying this is a trick about how to do it. It's a trick to train some muscles so you can do it. But it comes really from the heart, this work, that you want to connect with them. And of course, now you as well as them want to have human connection at the moment. So in a way, again, we're all in the same shared boat, which gives you all a huge advantage. And by the way, they trust you. You're their local shop. You're the ones they trust. And you know, they don't trust politicians. We can't trust the news. We can't trust the newspapers. They can trust this person in front of them. And I think that re-engagement is going to be a big part of the recovery, is people talking to people, really. Lovely to see you all. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Can't wait. Okay, bye.
Thank you.